Good day! I am Dr. Wilfredo S. Tagle, urologist, and welcome to Medical Practice, a series of tips and tricks to help you jumpstart your medical practice. For today, we are very lucky to have the most beautiful doctor in PMA, our Vice President, Dr. Luz Acosta Barrientos. Welcome very much, Dr. Ra.
Thank you, Bong, and good day to you also. Good day, everyone. I hope that this is a great day for you all.
We just have a short interview with you and a very candid questions. First of all, we want to know your background. When did you learn that you want to be a doctor?
My parents are both doctors.
Okay.
Ang dad ko was a GP. He graduated in 1952 at the UST College of Medicine, while my mother was a dentist, a graduate of the Centro Escolar University. When I was young, our house is a two-story house. So, yung sa taas, yun ang bahay namin. Yung sa baba naman, yung clinic ng dad and mom ko. So, yung clinic na yon may dalawang rooms, may medical at may dental. And then may patients waiting area na napakalaki. Kasi napakarami ng pasyente ng dad and mom ko. They were from Pangasinan and then they migrated to Mindanao, most particularly in Davao City.
Oh, ang layo.
Ang layo. But I was born in Davao City. Ngayon, syempre, bata ako, yung mga playmates namin, yung mga anak ng mga pasyente, ng mga bata din. And then, while my parents are doing their job, treating patients, ako yung payat na bata, ako yung laging inuubo. So, noon kasi, pag napunta ka sa doktor, ang gagawin sa'yo kaagad, i-examine, no? Stethoscope, gano'n. Pagkatapos, i-injectionan ka.
Oh.
Yung hiringgilya noon, yun yung glass, na ang needle, yung stainless steel.
Hindi pa siya disposable
Hindi
at
siya
that time.
disposable, nilalagay siya sa sterilizer na nandoon lang sa table ng dad ko. So, injection yan kaagad. And then my dad will write the prescription, istorya-istorya, ganon, and the okay ng pasyente, next na naman. So, dahil ako laging inuubo na hindi ko alam kung bakit, lagi akong merong injection everyday. Napuputol naman yan pag ako okay na, wala nang ubo. So, anong nangyari? Pag merong pasyente na kailangan ng injection, ako yung pinapatawag kaagad ng dad ko. Ako yung model for the injection. So, wala rin nagturo sa akin yan. Pag mag-inject na yung dad ko, syempre love ko yung dad ko. Gusto ko marami siyang pasyente, di ba? So, pag inject niya ganon, i-smile kaagad ako. Para walang sakit, di ba? So, yun ang nangyari. So, even if there were two rooms there, medical and dental, mas lagi ako doon sa dad ko. And then I learned to mix yung mga gamot. Kasi noon, lalo na sa mga bata, may bote.
Tinitimpla pa noon.
Tinitimpla noon. I'm talking about 1960s, no? Tinitimpla na noon. Mayroong 10cc paracetamol, 20cc na vitamins, or 10cc na vitamins, tapos merong antibiotic, tapos merong kung ano pang gusto
Cough
ng dad ko,
medicine.
cough medicine, gano'n. In a 120 ml bottle. So, sinishake yan, and then pinapainom like 1 tablespoon or 1 teaspoon 3 times a day, whatever. Depende yon kung gaano kalaki yung pasyente, gano'n. Iba rin yun sa mga...
So it was a concoction.
It was a concoction before. Pero yung sa mga adults, syempre, tableta na or kapsula.
Oh, okay.
So, yun na ano ko, na lagi ako doon sa dad ko. Although pumupunta rin ako sa dental, pero hindi masyado ako naging model doon. So, dito ako. So, nakita ko yung dad ko, how he cares for the patients. You know, before, what I saw in my dad, he treats the patient first, and then the patient will pay after the services are made. So, yun ang nangyari. So, ang nangyari noon, yung aming istante ng nakabayad na pasyente, maliit lang. Pero yung istante namin, yung may mga utang,
Mas malaki.
Mas malaki. Pero, hindi masyado ako noon sa nagbayad o hindi nagbayad. Ang nakikita ko was the passion of my dad in treating
service.
patients. Yes. Yun.
Meron ba kayong Chinese blood? Kasi usually the Chinese, ganun ang style. Negosyo sa baba, residential sa taas. Then, you started pala as a model.
Model na ako noon. Nang injection nga lang. Ito, ang lola ko was Chinese.
Oh,
on my mother's
that's
side.
it.
On my mother's side naman. Yung sa dad ko, Espanyol sila. Yun.
Kaya pala, ganun ang setup sa family.
Yes.
Okay. How about sa school? Saan ka nag-elementary, high school, college, going to medicine?
Okay, that's very interesting. Kami, pinaaral kami sa public school, elementary school. So, nakikita ko yung sa private school ng mga bata, naka-medyas, naka-sapatos, naka-uniform. Kami, naka-short pants, naka-white t-shirt, naka-chinelas, may bag na plastic at may bolo pa. Bolo, kasi
may
we do
gardening.
gardening, no? Wala kami mga janitor sa public school. So, yun nakikita ko, parang I ask myself then, why are these children there in a private school? Guwapo at maganda sila. Wala akong madumis. Na doktora naman ang mom ko. You know, as a child, parang ganun ka lang, di ba?
Dapat upper class.
Yun. Parang, uy, pwede rin kami dyan, di ba? That was when I was a child. So, yung nag-high school kami, sa ano naman kabinuan? Ang mga babae, sa mga madre na eskwelahan.
Interna.
So, hindi naman interna kami. Sa Davao City kami, to real Davao City, that is 16 kilometers from Davao. So, nandun kami sa Presentation of Mary Sisters. Although umuwi kami paghapon, no? Pero mga kuya ko, nandun sa seminaryo. Talagang, ano talaga sila doon, yung every weekend lang sila uuwi. So, ganun ang setup namin. Pero, at that time kasi, my dad was also a farmer, no? Kahit gaano karami ang pasyente niya, he wakes up at 4 o'clock and goes to the farm. We have a Rami farm. Malaki because we had at that time mga 200 to 300 laborers. Yung Rami plant kasi, yun yung
Yan yung ginagawang bag?
no, yun ang ginagawang fiber, no? Meron kang machine na yung Rami stock, ginagawang fiber yan, ina-export sa Japan. So, ang
Alam ko kasing Rami yung
ganun, hindi ko alam yun. So, moving on, naging, in charge ako sa mga laborers with their salaries. So, Wednesday, magbabale sila, and then
Saturday.
Sunday, magsisweldo na ako from 7 a.m. up to 1 p.m. Sunday. So, pag merong exams, talagang hindi ako nakaka-study ng Friday, Saturday, Sunday na lang ng after lunch ako, after sweldo ako makaka-study kasi meron akong trabaho.
Prepare ka ng payroll.
Magpe-prepare ako ng payroll at magpe-prepare ako ng pera. That's why tumatakbo na ako sa bangko noon pa, mga 8 years old ako. That is my work from elementary, high school to college. Pag medicine, mukhang pinag-graduate na ako ng dad ko kasi alam nyo, pag medical student na, di ba professional student, dapat wala kang iniintindi kung hindi ang pag-aaral mo lang. Yon.
Okay. So, what are your struggles during medical school?
Ang struggle ko sa medical school,
Kasi lahat tayo nahirapan naman eh. Walang
Yeah.
naging doktor na easy-easy lang ang medical school.
medical school talaga are the toughest years kasi you have really to study. Minsan nga napapanaginipan ko pa yung libro. But I have this passion of learning. I compete with myself. I don't compete with my classmates. I compete with myself alone. Para bang sinasabi ko, pag mayroong test, mag-aral nga ako, tapos tingnan ko sa test kung talaga bang I've learned a lot from this subject, ganon. So, I compete within myself lang. So, hindi masyado ako na noon. And then, I focus myself in studying. Wala akong boyfriend. Kahit maraming naliligaw sa akin, wala akong boyfriend. Kasi unang-una, I want to impress my dad. Because I'm Papa's girl eh. I want to impress my dad. Nasasabihin niya talaga, mabait talaga itong anak ko. Kasi wala talagang boyfriend. So ako lang, sa amin, we're 10 children in the family. Ako lang ang walang naging boyfriend nang
Wow.
nag-aaral ako. Yes.
Talaga naman.
Oo. We're 10 in the family. 6 were are doctors of medicine, 2 dentists, so that makes 8. And then 2 agribusiness graduates. So, yan kami.
Very good.
And then, ito pa bong, when I was in elementary, high school, college, talagang, yung elementary, di ba, may student council yan. Talagang gumagawa na ako noon ng mga, alam mo yung bookmarks na cartolina, and then, lalagyan mo butas, tapos lalagyan mo ng yarn, and then, ira-write mo that, please vote for Luz Acosta for ganito.
President.
O for president, for secretary. Siyempre, yung grade 2 ako, nandun lang ako sa mga PRO, yung gano'n. Pero nung mga grade 4, grade 5, grade 6 na ako, dyan na yung mga secretary, vice president, and then president.
So, as early as elementary,
Yes.
competitive ka na talaga.
Because, di ba noon, yung mga nakikilala na estudyante, lalo na pag start ng school, di ba, alam ko yan, kailan talaga ang election ng officers. Because I really want to be an officer in the classroom. So,
Okay.
talagang mangangampanya ako. Please vote for me, I want to be this and that, ganon. That's why, yun, officer na talaga ako, president, hanggang high school, hanggang sa naging sa medical years, from first year to fourth year, I was president of our class, although I was advanced, no? Younger ako sa
Batch.
age group namin, sa batch, younger ako sa batch namin sa medicine, but I was elected president from first year to fourth year hanggang ngayon, and that was, we graduated 1987. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa na po nila pinapalitan as president. President for life.
Good. So, now, dito naman tayo sa specialization. Paano ka napunta sa inyong field of specialization?
Okay.
Ano ang factors bakit napili mo yung specialization?
Okay. Eto yon. Una, in truth, when I was a clerk, I
That
made
was fourth year medicine.
fourth year medicine yan, clerk.
Siya tawag na nila ngayon is intern.
Intern na? Ang
Then,
intern sa amin is 5th year.
Postgraduate intern, PGI.
Ay, ganun ba?
At our
Iba na,
time,
no? Clerk.
it's clerkship,
Medical
then
clerk.
internship.
So,
Yeah.
sasabihin doon, paging, clerk, acosta, ganon. So, that means medical student 4th year. Okay. When I was in 4th year medical school, yung Novax, yung Obigaine, talagang inano ko yan, sinimplify ko yan sa isang maliit na notebook.
Makapal yun.
Oo nga, pero isang maliit. Kaya naging apple of the eye ako ng chairman ng department ng COPE na napaka-stricto. Na naging ninong ko sa kasal, si Dr.
Okay.
Dominador Cabrera.
Wait, saan school yan?
my school, Davao Medical School Foundation.
Oo, maganda yun. Oo.
Yes. Tapos ngayon, inano ko yung synopsis na ng Novax, no? Obigaine. Pero gusto kong maging OB kasi sinabihan nga ako ni Dr. Cabrera kasi nung panahon na fourth year ako lang yung nag-raise ng hand to answer him kasi lahat takot. Takot no? So, nakuha ko siya doon. So, ininganyo niya ako na when I graduate, maging lisensyadong doktor na ako. When I take residency, it must be OB. So, yun, pinipare ko. I also wanted general surgery. Kasi I'm really, yung parang on the go ako lagi.
Action talaga sa
Oo. Gusto ko yung action. Di ba? Ayaw ko yung masyadong nagbabasa ng napakahabang libro. Gusto ko yung action kaagad. So, surgical field, right? So,
But OB is also a surgical field.
oo, surgical field. Kaya nga, gusto kong surgical field. Ayoko yung nagbabasa ng napakaraming libro. And then, di ba, yung history taking, lalo ng history taking, ayoko yung history taking na napakahaba.
Okay.
So, di ba yung surgical fields, di ba, shorten lang yung mga,
At saka pag pumunta ang pasyente, ito ang bukod.
nakikita mo na.
Kita mo
di ba? Oo. So, ganon. Ngayon, nung nakatapos na ako, lisensyado na akong doktor, ready na ako mag-residency. So here I come, Davao Medical Center, now Southern Philippines Medical Center. Sa Davao po yan, kasi gusto ko mag-train sa government hospital. So ngayon, nung papunta ko doon, ang surgery, lalaki lang. At that time, 1980, mga 1980s, lalaki lang. Doon sa amin ang natatanggap sa general surgery. So, hindi na ako pwede doon, ano? Hindi ko naman naisip na dito sa Manila, meron na pala.
May mga babae
Meron na babae ng surgeon, no? Ngayon, OB as second choice. Wala sa government hospital. Meron sa private, pero every 2 days ang 24 hours duty. And 5 years. So may anak na ako noon. So hindi na pwede, no? So ngayon, ang kuya ko, eldest namin, is an ophthalmologist. He graduated in UP, PGH for ophthalmology. So sabi niya sa akin, doon ka sa ophthalmology kasi maganda yan. So,
But before that, kasi yan ang anong dilemma ngayon ng mga young graduates. Because you will become too old to marry if you go into specialization right away. Then, it is the time to start a family and specialize.
yes.
But sometimes they are pushed to the wall na you have to choose one. Paano mo ginawa yun? Pinagsabay ang family sa specialization.
It was very automatic kasi yung panahon na tapos na ako, lisensyado na ako, parang it's time to marry. Kasi iba ang time natin noon po. Iba ang time ngayon. Well, anyway, kahit na iba ang time noon at ibang time ngayon, you can also do that together. Having your residency program and starting a family. It's just a matter of time management talaga. Ganon.
So, napakahirap talaga yun.
Yes, napakahirap. And there was a time, pinagsabay ko yung, pagkatapos ko kasi nag-ophthalmology, syempre, magtitake ka ng diplomate boards, ano? So, nag-take ako ng basic course sa UP-PGH. And at the same time, pinagsabay ko yung fellow ko sa UP-PGH in oculoplastic, reconstructive, and orbit surgery. And at the same time, having that family, kasi tinransfer ko ang family, ang anak ko dito because we have an apartment sa Port Bonifacio kasi PMA yung husband ko. So as an officer
So,
kasi,
military ang
oo. So in kasi in the camp noon sa Port Bonifacio, pag officer ka, PMA, you will have a free na apartment.
Housing.
At saka 2-story yun, ha? Yun. So, inano ko yung anak ko dito. After leaving him for 1 year sa Davao.
Talaga mahirap
Oo.
magsimula.
So, di ba? Pinagsabay ko yung basic course review ko sa basic course ko, review ko sa diplomate boards ng ophthalmology, and at the same time, yung fellowship ko sa oculoplastic, orbit, and reconstructive, and at the same time, yung family ko nandito.
Wow!
Kasi si Jerry, inassign naman dito sa Manila, sa intelligence.
Okay.
Yun.
So, you became an ophthalmologist.
Yes.
After that,
Sure.
did you have any further training?
Ang training ko, so nag-practice na ako sa Davao for ophthalmology, oculoplastic, reconstructive, and orbit surgery. I have many patients then. Kaya lang, sabi ko, parang kulang pa. Kasi, di ba, maarte ako di ba? Parang gusto ko yung mga tao na mapaligaya ko sila pag gumanda sila, gumwapo sila, ganun. So I went into cosmetic surgery fellowship
Oh.
program for 2 years again. So I was out of Davao in a month, mga 2 weeks straight.
Then go back for practice.
Oo, go back na 2 weeks practice, tapos nandito na naman ako. That's for 2 years. So, ang ginagawa namin, whole body cosmetic surgery. So, from here to down. So, masaya naman ako kasi, di ba, yung mga iba kasi na wala masyadong pera, gusto magpaganda, just for, hindi naman yun parang talagang imposible, no? Parang gusto lang nila, pero ganito lang pera nila. Matulungin ako So, gusto ko, at the end, masaya sila. So, I do the surgery for them. Ganun lang.
So, with your practice and your residency training, what are the things or patients, cases na nahirapan ka?
Okay. Ang nahirapan ako, yung mga sa orbit. Kasi, yung orbit kasi, pag ang mass nandoon sa retrobulbar, di ba, syempre, maliit masyadong orbit. At saka, hindi ka pwedeng mag-incise dito sa skin na napakalaki. So, paliitan ng incision, skin incision, pero dissection mo doon, parang gera na sa loob. So, yon, mahirap yung orbit. But, syempre, nag-train ako, I was very conscientious, and pag nag-aral kasi ako, nag-aaral talaga ako, and I compete with myself. Kaya, yon, happy naman ako sa lahat ng tinraining ko.
On the other hand,
Yes.
ano naman yung hindi mo makakalimutan success?
When I was first year resident in Davao Medical Center, now Southern Philippines Medical Center, and that is the biggest hospital in the country, naging interns coordinator ako. So, intern, no? So, lahat yung pinili nila ako of all the residents kasi they know that I am a fighter. Lalo na pag, di ba yung tama itong concerns nila, I am there really for them. I don't do politics, Bong. When I take care of them, I take care of them. No matter what. So, yun. After that, yung nag-graduate na sila, binigyan nila ako ng award, and I still see my interns before, and they are consultants now, and the respect is still there. And that is my biggest accomplishment, no? Yung respect sa akin na hindi nawawala. Whether they have nothing before and they are somebody now, but the respect is still there. And that makes me happy. Number
Okay.
2, yung nanalo ako ng paper writing contest sa Philippine College of Surgeons. That's why I am an active member now of the Philippine College of Surgeons kasi nag-start yun doon. Nananalo ako sa Philippine College of Surgeons sa aking papel na yung residence paper writing contest. Yon.
So, as a doctor, kailan mo na realize sa sarili mo that you are already a successful practitioner, clinician?
Okay. Success is without any standard, no? Yung dekahon.
Yes.
Success depends on the person.
On your perception.
On our perception, what makes us happy.
Yes.
But here is one thing. If you are happy and when you are satisfied with your life, then you are successful. It doesn't mean that you have plenty of money, you are successful. Because the reality in life, hindi lang pera yun. Actually, ang pera is just a spice of our lives. Yung nakukuha natin, nabibili natin yung gusto natin. The most important things are priceless. The family, the respect of the people around you, your principles, yung mga natulungan mong tao, yun yung true happiness sa akin. That's why I can say, at this age of mine, that I am successful in my own way because I've helped plenty of people and also because I pleased God.
Madagdagan ko lang yun.
Yes.
When you're happy, you have to be loved by the medical community, by your family, and of course, as a professional.
Yes, of course, Bob. As a professional, alam mo yung respect ng mga doktor sa iyo na talagang kahit wala ka, they speak good things about you. That is a true success.
As a doctor, sinasabi na you have to be a well-rounded person.
Mhm.
Aside from being a doctor, what are your other activities or pinapasukan mo?
Okay. Eto. Pag nasa bahay ako, I play the piano. Kasi widow ako eh. Nag-widow chords. And then, I go into pole dancing.
Wow!
Hindi pa halata. Yes, I do that. And then,
Business?
I dance. Yeah, I do business on the other, but most of the time, I help patients. That's why I have this ambulatory surgery in Davao City na DOH licensed by the Department of Health and accredited by PhilHealth. Because if patients come to me and they need treatment and they can afford it, so they pay my price. Pero hindi naman yun exorbitant. But if poor patient comes in, tapos tinatyansya ko kasi di pa tayo mga doktor, pagpasok pa lang ng pasyente, alam natin kung totoo bang walang pera ito o impostor lang. Diba? So, nagpa-background check ako. Yung ilang ang anak mo, what's the work of your wife, ganun. How do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? Ganun. So, tinatansya ko. Bulag sila, kasi I'm an ophthalmologist, no? Bulag sila. Pag hindi mo tinulungan ito in just a few minutes or few hours of your time, that means a lifetime of hardship for them. So, hindi na ako nagtithink ng pera or whatever. Ang inaano ko na lang, matutulungan ko tong tao ito. And that will make me truly happy. So, yun ang ginagawa ko. That's why my ambulatory clinic, operates cataract and other eye surgeries for the indigenous populations for free in Mindanao.
Talking about free service, we doctors, lagi namang service-oriented.
Yes.
Now, what are your other charitable activities na binibigay mo naman in return to the community?
Oh, I'm a board of trustees sa Christian Rehabilitation of the Blind. So we have a blind school. I do sponsor them regularly kasi we have a school for the blind. And then I do also other charitable works. Well, I donate pag may pumunta na or sa mga, di ba,
Calamities, typhoon.
calamities, typhoons. Like in here sa PMA, pag merong mga devastated na mga component societies, then I donate my own money for them. Kasi ganito yun, in my experience in life, no? The more you give, di ba? The more you give, the more that you receive. That's really true. Kasi God will bless you.
Oh.
Yun.
Okay. So, with all those success, with all those hardship na pinagdaanan mo, guys, ano ang matapapayo ni Dr. Luz Acosta to the young doctors who want to succeed in their professional life? It's your
Okay.
turn.
Alam nyo, mga bata, ang buhay kasi, we learn through experience. Pag bata ka, iba. Pag gaya ka na namin, hindi ko naman sabihin matanda, no? Kasi hindi naman kami matanda looking ni Bong, no? We learn through experience. So, mas alam namin kung paano maging successful sa buhay. Ang mapapayo ko, go to residency training, have your own training, in the mindset to help people. Kasi ang pera, darating. And don't forget to pray. Pray. Always talk to the Lord. And do good things always. For now. So that all your sacrifices, matatapos din yan. And then, you will have all the blessings in life. Yun. And be an inspiration, not only to your colleagues, to the people around you, to the community, to your patients, but also be an inspiration to the next generation of doctors. At ito po, ang pasyente po ay aalagaan natin. Kasi ang pasyente, pumupunta sa atin, may sakit na yan, so may problema na sila. We treat our patients like our own family. How we treat our family, and we will be better doctors.
Okay. Very nice words. And of course, malay mo, hindi lang yan, Vice President as of now of the Philippine Medical Association. And hopefully, later on, the greatest leader of doctors, not only in the Philippines, but internationally. Okay.
Maraming salamat
Congratulations.
po.
Maraming salamat.
Let us pray for all those good words that
Hopefully,
you uttered.
Maraming sumunod sa inyong mga yapak.
Maraming salamat po,
Thank you very
Dr.
much.
Tagle. And thank you so much for inviting me here. I'm honored. Bye for now, junior doctors.
Bye-bye.